Namaskar. Welcome to Ancient Wisdom. Today we will be seeing about strawman argument and its utility in understanding ancient scriptures, ancient knowledge. What is strawman argument? Strawman argument means something that doesn't exist. You create that something or add something to that and only then take that additional part that you have added and criticize it, and by criticizing it you can say that the original is wrong. So there is a original literature, imagination or otherwise, that added part you take separately and then you take that added part to pieces, and then you say that because this added part or because this part doesn't agree with the normal values, culture or anything else, that is why the original story also must be false, and the original story cannot be history because this is imaginary or mythology. This is what in essence a strawman argument is. There are two such stories in Ramayana which are connected with strawman argument. The first one is that of Ahilya. Ahilya was the wife of Rishi Gautam, and she was highly educated lady, but on one day there was some indiscretion committed by her, for which Rishi Gautam became very angry and cursed her to turn into stone. Immediately Ahilya turned into a big stone and lay by the wayside. And Gautam Rishi said that you have turned into stone. Shri Ram passes this way and he stumbles on you. When and if he stumbles on you, you will turn back into human being. Otherwise, till that time, you will remain a stone. And then Shri Ram left Ayodhya for Vanvas along with Sita and Lakshman. On the way, this stone or rock was by the wayside. While passing, Shri Ram stumbled on that, and as he stumbled, the stone was turned into a human being, and Ahilya was there in her glory. She bowed down to Shri Ram. Shri Ram blessed her and then went on his way to Dandakaranya. This is how it goes, that when they came to their ashram, they met Ahilya. Shri Ram bowed down to her. All three of them bowed down to her, took her blessings, and then proceeded on their way. But the story has been highly embellished, garnished, and told in this way, which makes it look like magic. And because it looks like magic, it is objected to, and because it is objected to, the original Ramayana also is objected to. You are getting the gist of strawman argument? Now let us look at the second story from Ramayana itself and Dandakaranya. The story of Shabri. Shabri was a lady, she was a forest dweller, and in the same forest was living Matanga Rishi. Matanga Rishi was doing great tapasya, and this lady Shabri was his disciple and also served him all her life. Matanga Rishi did tapasya for a long time. By that time, Shabri became old and she used to walk around with a stick, that old. And then, when Matanga Rishi died, before he died, he told Shabri that Shabri, the name that you have been chanting all your life, the God that you have been wishing for all your life, you will not die before you see the God in person. One day Shri Ram will come to this jungle, Shri Ram will come to this forest, and he will be partaking your hospitality, and remember that day will be the greatest day of your life. And then Matanga Rishi died. Now Shabri waited and waited and waited for that day for the god to come to Dandakaranya. And one day she gets this news that Sri Ram, Sita and Lakshman are on their way to Dandakaranya. She is very very happy. She immediately starts out to meet Sri Ram. On the way, she picks up berries because you don't go to meet God empty-handed. But then she has got a dilemma. She has collected a lot of berries, but some berries are sour and some berries are sweet. How can you offer something that is sour, that is not tasty, to the God? So what she does is she segregates those berries by tasting each one of them, and then she only takes those berries which were juicy and sweet. And she meets Sri Ram. As soon as she meets Sri Ram, she prostrates to him, bows down to him, and very devotedly offers the berries to him. Seeing that the berries were half eaten, Lakshman is agonized. He immediately objects, how can you eat berries which have been pre-tasted, which have been half eaten? You can't. And then Sri Ram stops him. And Sri Ram says, whatever my bhakta, whatever my devotee offers to me with devotion, that devotion is important to me. And see, the berries are not half eaten. She has tasted those berries so as to make sure that I get only those sweet berries and I don't get those sour berries. I only get those juicy, tasty berries. And that is because her devotion to me is so great. She has gone one extra mile, one longer mile to give me the best that she can offer. And I will very happily take that. This is the kind of devotion that we are looking for. And Sri Ram eats those berries, blesses Shabri and all the gold. Interestingly, again you go to the original Ramayana, Shabri's story is missing. Another contradiction in the Shabri story is Shabri is a person who has lived all her life in the forest. And you know, the forest dwellers live by eating fruits or roots. And they have to be very well versed with what the roots are or what the fruits are. They have to be able to make out by sight because many of these are poisonous. Poisonous to that extent that even if you just taste it, you will drop dead. And especially, this is a lady who has grown old in jungle, in the forest. And it is just not possible that she cannot make out which berries are juicy or which berries are tasty or which berries are sweet by a mere glance. So this story apparently has so much contradiction that it is not there in Ramayana is the right thing. So what we have seen now is a straw man argument. Something that was not there is added there, added in such a way that it contradicts the original story, and then the separate story, the secondary story is taken as a means to be history. It can be imaginary or mythology. This is the importance of understanding straw man argument. For this purpose, you should understand the logic of straw man argument and always go to the original source to see whether it has been honestly and properly translated, and it is not, and also it is a part of the original argument and it is not a straw man fallacy. Namaskar.